Right, hello lads and lasses and welcome back to Boys Down Under. And yes, you guys have read that title right, but at the same time, I think you've misunderstood. Now, the news has dropped today that Celtic are interested in bringing more talent to the club after the signing of Liam Scales yesterday on a 4-year deal. They want more. So who are we talking about exactly? You lot might be thinking it's Diogo Jota, but in fact, it sadly, unfortunately, is not. We are interested in Felipe Jota from Benfica, as reported by the Daily Record. Now, of course, we'll be covering who he is, why Celtic want him, and my thoughts and opinions on the deal. But before we get into the video, though, I'm setting a goal of, let's say, 700 subscribers by the Derby kickoff. How about that? So let's see if we can hit that, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, who is Felipe Jota? Now, a lot of you might have mistaken him in the title for Diogo Jota. They actually have no relation whatsoever, surprisingly, because his full name is actually João Pedro Neves Felipe, but is commonly referred to Felipe Jota or just Jota in general. And he's 22 years old, a right footer, and plays out on the wing. Well, actually, he plays on both wings, but he prefers the left-hand side, but he is very, very good on both. Now, the best part about him, and the most promising part I think every single Celtic fan would like to see about him, is his birthplace. He was born in Lisbon, a place which all Celtic fans have a real sentimental spot for. Now, he spent last year on loan at Real Valladolid, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, and in his whole career he's made 87 first team appearances and scored 12 goals. And not to mention, he is so technically gifted on both feet. His close control is an absolute joke. If you haven't seen his highlights, I really recommend them on YouTube. They're very, very promising. Now, something to note about him is that he's Portuguese. He represents the Portuguese. He hasn't represented the Portuguese national team yet, but since under 15s, he has represented every single Portuguese national team. So he's under 15s, under 16s, under 17s. Obviously, you skip under 18s, under 19s as well. He's represented each one, and in Portugal, that is an amazing feat and something that should not be taken lightly because of the amount of talent they have in the country. Now, why are Celtic interested in a player like Felipe Jota? Well, there's two reasons, and I'm going to start with the bad one, rip it off like a band-aid. And I feel this move is a sign that Ryan Christie is on his way out of the club. Now, whether that be Burnley or anywhere else in the Premier League, who knows? But don't take my word for it, though, because I'm not a journalist, I don't know. But don't take my word for it, because I could be completely wrong, And it's only a theory, because right now, it's definitely the worst, because right now, Celtic with Christie in the equation, we're fine for wingers. We've got Christie, Abada, Kyogo and James Forrest, who are all fit and ready to play right now. And we also have Mikey and Karamoko, who are currently injured. So we're quite stacked for wingers if you consider Christie to be part of that fold. Now, so could this be the sign of Christie's departure? Look, we'll have to wait and see, because who knows? At the end of the day, anything could happen in the last 3 days of the window or how long left there is. Now, the second reason that actually ties in with the first quite similarly, so it's because Ange purely feels, Big Ange, that we just need more depth. And it's something that we've seen and he's talked about a lot, that Celtic need quality depth in all positions. And, I agree with him. I agree. And that's why I feel that this deal could definitely happen. Obviously, he's played striker 1 or 2 games in his career, Felipe Jota has, but he's mainly on the wing. And so, yeah, it's purely Ange wanting depth. I think that's probably the most accurate reason. I'd say I'm hoping that is the reason and it isn't Christie's departure, because he looks like a new player. And obviously, the way Christie's playing now, he would be attracting offers from Burnley or whoever in the Premier League wants him. And he'd be cheap because he's running out on his contract, and if they hold out, he can come on a free transfer pre-contract agreement, so who knows what's happening there. And I don't think it could get much simpler than this. They just want more depth. So, moving on, now my opinions on this transfer, and well, personally, what isn't to like about him, you know? He's young, he's gifted with his feet, and I would love to see him in the green and white. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the deal is a loan deal plus the option to buy at the end of the year. So this actually works so well in Celtic's favour, because if he impresses us, we don't need to go through the whole panic of like trying to offer them a great deal like we did with odds on Edouard. We can just buy him straight out. There must be a Greer feed. Now, obviously, that is just what's being rumoured by the Daily Record at the moment. No actual no actual concrete offer has been made from Celtic. Benfica have received nothing. So we'll have to watch this space over the next couple of days. I don't think anything will happen before the Old Firm match, but we will wait to see. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But that is all from me. So until next time, which will be a preview of tomorrow's derby match between Celtic and the Huns. Hail, hail.